If you think your best years are behind you at 30, this video is going to completely shatter that lie. I'm about to show you why the society has it all the way backward. Why your 30s aren't your settling phase. They're actually your comeback era. They're actually your peacock era. Your time to fly. Your time to flaunt. Your time to be the woman that you've always wanted to be. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why every single thing you've been told about aging as a woman is complete nonsense. But first, let me ask you something. How many of you were told that by the age of 30, you should have it all figured out? Like your career, lockdown, your marriage, maybe kids, you should have owned a home, you know that beautiful home with a nice fence and the fireplace. Yeah, me too. I heard that as well. And when that didn't happen, I thought I was behind. I thought I was feeling like I was completely shattered. But here's what nobody tells you about your 30s. And this might trigger some people, but I don't care because it needs to be said, okay? Your 30s are when you finally stop living everyone else's timeline. You stop living for your parents. You stop living for your friends. You stop living for the society. And you start living your own. And that is when the magic, that's when it really happens. Now let me blow your mind with science that nobody ever talks about. Did you know that the brain doesn't actually finish developing until you're 25? That means that everything before that was literally practice. Like everything you did before you turned 25, you were literally practicing. You were operating with an incomplete operating system as a person, okay? But here's the kicker. Your 30s are when you hit what researchers call the crystallized intelligence. This is when your experiences, your knowledge and skills, they all combine together to create your peak cognitive power. I hope you're beginning to connect the dots with everything I'm saying, because you're not declining at 30. That is what I'm trying to tell you. You're literally hitting your intellectual phase. And this is the time for you to start building those things you've always wanted to build, because you're at your peak. Okay? And so while everyone is obsessing about physical aging, wrinkles, your brain is becoming a supercomputer. And that is why I tell most women that you're focusing on the wrong things in your 30s. You're focusing on wrinkles or the sagging breasts. You're focusing on all of those things. Meanwhile, your brain is literally becoming a supercomputer. Like you have better emotional regulations. You have clearer decision-making skills. And something your 20-year-old self didn't have. The confidence that comes with surviving from your 20s, now you have it. Now let me tell you a story about a woman called Sarah. Now Sarah is not a real name, but that's just a placeholder. But her story will give you chills. So at 32, Sarah was confused. And she was convinced that she had missed her window. She thought that everything was, already lost and there was nothing she could do. And she had nothing figured out. So she was stuck in a job she hated. She didn't like her job. She hated every single thing. She was living paycheck to paycheck. She would wake up every day sad. And everyone around her was getting promoted, getting married, buying houses and all of that. But Sarah wasn't. So she came to me feeling like a complete failure. She had signed up for my Purpose to Profit coaching, one-on-one coaching. And she came to me feeling like a complete failure. But here's what changed everything for her. And I'll share that exact strategy in a minute. She realized that while everyone else was building their lives on shoulds, she finally had the clarity to build hers on wants. Like she was clear. And that's why sometimes people look at it as, oh my God, I have speed. What took other people 10 years is taking me 1 year. Because at that point, you're clear. Your goals are clear. Your vision is clear. You know exactly what you want. And while it has taken other people, the crawling, the learning, and all of that, you're crystallized in your mind. You already know what you want, right? And so you're building yours on what you want. I know what I want and I'm building on it. So a few months down the line, she's running her own business. She started her own business. She's running her own business. She's living a happier life. She's beginning to meet people. Usually she would just stay at home, and now she's beginning to meet people, not because she settled for what was available, but because she finally knew who she was and what she deserved. And that is what I want you to feel today. Now, let me share with you some names that will shock you, okay? And I'm going to be looking at my screen a bit here. Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until 40. Vera Wang is a famous designer. Oprah didn't launch her talk show until 32. Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't publish her first Little House book until 62. Did you guys hear that? Colonel Sanders, that all of us know, was 62 when he franchised KFC. Now, these are not exceptions. They're the rules that nobody talks about. No one tells you. Here's why late boomers actually have the advantage. Number one, you have clarity. You have tried enough things to know what doesn't work. Your 20s were market research for your 30s. Number two, you have the resources, not just money, though hopefully you have more money than your broke 20-year-old self, but now you have emotional resources, right? Relationship resources. You have knowledge resources. You have all of those things, right? Number three, you have urgency without desperation. You know that time matters, but you're not making panic decisions like you made in your 20s. You're precise with your decisions. And number four, you have authenticity. I hope that you're now authentic to your own self, right? You're done pretending to be someone else to fit in. You now have that authenticity of your own self. That's what attracts opportunities. Your authenticity is what attracts your opportunities. Think about every movie, every book, every story you love. The hero doesn't peak in the first act, right? The hero does not, you don't see the hero already at the peak of their stuff in the first act. The transformation happens in the middle. Right? The transformation happens in the middle. Most times it starts as Cinderella, the poor girl, and then it transforms in the middle and all of that. But because that's the truth, okay? Your 20s were your origin story. That was your beginning. Your 30s, now that is when you discover your superpowers and then you start to use them. And those your superpowers, they include things like the ability to say no without having to explain yourself, because at this point, nobody can beat you again. The confidence to ask for what you want, like you're negotiating your prices, you're negotiating your job. The wisdom to invest in yourself instead of in everyone else. Now, this used to be me. I will invest my time, my resources, and everything in everyone else and ignore myself. But now you have the wisdom to do that, invest in yourself, right? You have the courage to disappoint who never really supported you anyway. Because what's the point? If they never supported you anyway, why are you holding on to them? Now, here's what I need you to understand, and write this down because it is super important, okay? So grab a notebook, grab a journal, and write this down. The women who struggle in their 30s aren't struggling because they are too old. They are struggling because they are still playing by their 20s rule. Do you want me to say it again? Come closer. The women who struggle in their 30s aren't struggling because they're too old. They're struggling because they're still playing by their 20s rule. The things that served you when you were 20, now that you're 30. Now, these women are still seeking external validation instead of internal alignment. You're still seeking for people to give you a round of applause instead of finding internal alignment, finding things that makes you tick, right? They're still trying to fit into spaces that they've already outgrown long ago, instead of creating new ones. You have the ability to create your own space at this age. Your 30s are when you realize that the game that everyone told you to play, it was never designed for you to win. Everyone has told you what to do. It was never designed for you to win. So you have to create your own game with your own rules where you cannot lose. Why? Because you define what winning looks like. So here's what I want you to do right now. In the comments below, I want you to share one dream, one goal, one thing you've been putting off because you think you're too old, or maybe because you think it's too late. I'm going to personally respond to every single comment because I want you to hear this. It's not too late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be to create the life you actually want. If only you will see it in that way. And if this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop settling and start reclaiming your power, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. Listen, I'm inviting you to be a member of the Aligned Women Academy. Over there at the Aligned Women Academy, we focus on spiritual growth, physical growth, financial growth, right? And personal growth as a woman. And for just $10 a month, you get all of those with a book club and guest speakers and all of that. It's an amazing community. I want you to go ahead and try it for 7 days. You get 7 days free trial, and then you can make a decision whether you want to stay with us or you would like to exit. But it's an amazing, amazing community of like-minded women. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because in my next video, I will be talking about 5 side hustles for introverted women like me. So if that's something you like to know, join our community. Now, I hope you have an amazing day. My name is thetobyrich.